I don't know about you guys, but I know for myself, looking at all the seeds in the middle of winter and trying to figure out what you're going to plant in the spring is a bit of a daunting task. You have all these seeds with all different requirements, and it's kind of hard to just start. Where do I start? What do I do? So this video is going to take you through the steps that I use in order to figure out what I'm going to plant in the spring and the following. Hi everyone, my name's Danae, and I'm going to teach you how I plan my garden for the spring and summer crop. What I first do is I write out a list of everything that I want for the whole gardening season. So I write down my spinach, my lettuce, my carrots, tomatoes. I just make a full list of everything that I'm going to have that I want to plant. The second step is actually distinguishing what is for spring and what's going to be for more of a fall crop. So I make a second list of only spring items. So I know I'm going to start my chives, salad, tomatoes, some of my herbs, flowering things. So those will be for an early spring. What I've done here is laid out all of the seeds that I have that I just keep in my dry storage downstairs. Now these are going to be for spring, summer, and as well as for fall planting. I just combine them all together. But what I want to do for particularly for my spring is I want to separate them and divide what I'm going to be planting and starting basically right now and what I'm going to be using for later on in the season. Now you can see here that I have two piles. My first pile here is everything that I'm going to start from seeds in the springtime, and the second pile is everything that is going to be for cooler crops. So I have my spinach, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, Swiss chard, so everything that needs to be a bit cooler. So I'm going to just make sure that these ones stay downstairs and these ones are upstairs ready to use. Once I've written out a list of everything I want to plant for the spring, I look through my seeds and see what I have. Now, if I really want to plant tomatoes and I have no tomato seeds, I'm going to write those down on a list. I want to order those right away so then they're not picked over, and I get them in time so then I can start everything nice and early using my indoor grow lights. So I've already made a list of everything I want to plant in the spring, and I compared it to the seeds I have. Now I created a list on everything that I needed to order, which I did order from West Coast Seeds. If you look at episode 2, you can find the video on my unboxing of West Coast Seeds. In addition to the seeds that I have here, I'm also going to be purchasing potatoes and yams to be cut up and planted in the garden early springtime. Now, after I've written down everything that I'm going to have for my spring crop, my third step is to plan it out. So I've used grid paper or just graphing paper for this, and what I've done is for every 2 little squares, it equals 1 foot. I'm going to try the square foot gardening method where 1 plant is in every square footage of your garden. Now this is a very compacted way of gardening, but I think that the yield is going to be a lot more, and because I'm in an urban gardening setting, I think that unless I do more of this condensed sort of gardening, I'm just not going to get enough produce in order to can it for the winter months. So I've decided on laying it out by having 11 feet by 12 feet or 22 by 24 little squares. So each 2 squares is 1 square footage. So that's the third step, is to lay everything out. I'm not sure if you can see this very good, but this is where I have my square footage layout for my garden. Now I'm just going to talk about the larger part, the 11 feet by the 12 feet. Now I've started off with asparagus, carrots, tomatoes, and kind of built down from that, keeping in mind that for every 2 little squares, it's going to be 1 foot. So 2 by 2 is going to be 1 square footage. So if I have 11 feet by 1, I'm going to have approximately 10 plants. Now, I didn't put in mind that for 2 squares here, I'm gonna have my walking path. So it's actually gonna be 5 with a walking path of 1, and then I'm gonna also have 5 feet here. Well, I hope this video has helped you. I know that when I was on YouTube, it was hard to find any sort of video that kind of broke it down for me. If it helped you, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments, please just put down below, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.